Look at that. Right, we're here with none other than Mr. Jonny Smith from the Late Brake Show. Now, he brought us along a car to restore, which is...
Well, people probably still can't tell what it is from this angle. It's a Matra Rancho, a Talbot Matra Rancho.
There is one problem with this car, though.
One problem? Well, this car has got more than just one problem. But let's go with some positives first. The Rancho was launched in 1977 as a leisure activity vehicle to capitalise on the off-road trend started by the Range Rover. It remained on sale up to 1985, reaching almost 58,000 units. This particular example has some not so desirable optional extras, including 2 flat tyres for extra grip on the road, multicoloured paint, and some ongoing weight saving for that all-important fuel efficiency. This one is almost giving back to the earth, quite literally, and with the tax being £2.99 per decade, this Rancho is a beautiful example of what you don't want your car to look like, and with rust this bad, Jonny has certainly given us one heck of a mighty challenge.
Bloody hell.
The first thing you will spot...
Yeah. The first thing I spot is the fact that that's a red painted piece of tarpaulin.
Well, that's all right, I don't mind that.
Is it?
But the biggest thing you should spot is that pallet. Now, there is a purpose for that pallet. That's to stop the middle of that car touching the floor.
Is it that bad?
It is that bad.
Bloody hell, it wasn't that bad when I bought it. I'm sure it wasn't.
Well, if I show you here, watch this. Now, this is the nice bit. You'll love this. Right, your door drops.
Yes, it does.
That's not the biggest part. If you kind of watch this area of the car.
Oh my gosh. Right, so there isn't an A-pillar anymore.
No, and it can, if you see your dashboard on the inside as well.
I'm just seeing the whole gap widening, and gosh,
That's because there's no structure left at all.
I've paid for to do that.
It's bad though.
Right, closing the door. Oh, there we go.
Luckily, from here back, the majority is fairly solid because most of it is fiberglass.
I mean, these were, there's a reason why there's about 4.5 of these left in the UK. And
Is this the half?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be, but the guy in Cornwall bought it from a guy in Scotland. So this bloody car has
been
gone all around the UK, probably on a trailer.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Probably not under its own steam.
Yeah, I don't think it's driven that far. Metal.
That's not even metal.
No, that's actually just the rubberized protection. Oh. So there's literally nothing. All the way down here, look, it's all gone.
So the wing is bolted to nothing?
Yeah, it's just floating.
Shiitake mushrooms. This appears to be in a new league of...
It is in its own league. I think this is going back to Earth, this one. This is decomposing from the front backwards.
Right. Well, we'd said originally on our WhatsApps and phone calls, we were going to make a decision. Do we restore it, depending on its condition, or do we do something else with it? They were a 2-wheel drive pickup, so they weren't the final word in refinement or speed or off-road capability. We have an idea though. So there's a reason for this. There is method to this absolute madness, and it's from late nights of sitting on the internet and going on various forums and looking at wheelbases.
Which, thankfully, you've done all those measurements.
I've done that because I enjoy the research. So the distance between this wheel and this wheel is millimetre identical to a Matra Rancho. Would you believe it? And this, of course, it doesn't need any introduction, even though when it's looking hanging like this, Subaru Matra WRX. So in other words, if you close your eyes and imagine it, you could turn a Rancho into the genuine 4x4 with a bit of grunt that it maybe always wanted to be.
Yeah.
It predates the Discovery, remember?
It does.
And the Discovery was modelled on that car pretty much. So maybe it's going to be even better than the Discovery. Certainly more
definitely
fun.
Better.
More fun.
Yeah, you got. It's quicker.
Yeah. and thus, I guess, Steve, by doing this, the theory is that the structure in this car
That's it, yeah.
is gonna live under that.
It is. Well, what we'll probably do is we'll use the base of this car with all the chassis.
Yeah.
We'll use all the bulkhead, all the structure underneath the dashboard.
Yeah.
And we'll use all this front end. We'll keep all that intact. So basically, your car will be from here all the way down there, all the way to the back, round there, and on top of it, we're going to put a Rancho. I mean, this car, it was a parts car, wasn't it? This was a donor car.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of rust cut out of here, so there's still a lot of work to do on this car. There's no boot. I mean, if we could get in there.
Yeah, we've got a key somewhere. But
there's no boot inside there. The boot floor is absolutely gone.
Yeah.
But the chassis and the structure of this car are really, really good. So rather than destine this car to the scrapyard, minus all its parts, this car is going to get a new lease of life, as is the Rancho,
which definitely no one else is going to restore.
That's it, yeah. Well, I mean, both these cars would be taken off the road, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
Whereas with both these cars, we're going to put one of them, well, we're going to put both of them in one guise back on the road. Will that make this Rancho the fastest, best handling Rancho on the road?
But that's not going to be difficult. You'll safely cover that. You'll safely, but yeah, but also because these are still rallied, you can lift the suspension for different rally courses and stuff. There's so many aftermarket suspension parts. You can actually make it sit quite high. So with some off-roady type tyres, I think it will be incredible.
Some nice big fat chunky ones.
Yeah. They were wheelbase buddies. They just didn't know it.
One of the biggest challenges is going to be getting the dashboard in as well and making it look like it should fit, because you've got a lot of structure underneath here.
Yes.
You might have to cut all them out, restructure and push them further back so that your dash fits in and looks and is in the right position when you're seating as well. So there's all them things to think about.
Because you're going to use the Impreza, obviously, column and everything.
We're basically going to use straight down there. We're going to use all that front end section to the bottom of the doors,
all that
round to the boot.
So everything here that's missing on that car, we use it on this
which
car.
is missing,
and all this in a wing, and
we're going to be using this for it.
Which is fantastic, because this is solid where it counts.
That's it. This is solid where it counts.
Also, nobody ever bought a Rancho because they loved the 1.4 really tappety gutless engine, whereas this is slightly different and more impressive, the flat 4 turbo.
Shall we put this should I put this scoop on for you as well, so it could be a did
it have any kind of cladding on the bonnet? I can't remember.
No, they're fairly flat with just some ribbing on.
We'll see. I do like the little intake, but I suppose it's like you're saying, looking at this structure, or what should be on the front.
This is everything that counts.
And making sure that all this stuff can stay underneath the original bonnet and underneath the original wings.
Like I say, we might have to extend the wings if it's deeper. We might have to lengthen them if it's a little bit longer.
If it's a bit more nose.
Right. Okay. But that's fairly easy stuff, from actually chopping everything out and getting it sitting right on this frame, so it looks like it should be there.
Yeah. Okay.
And looking kind of like a sleeper.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be.
A little bit of a sleeper.
Has to be. I'm all about the sleepers.
It may be all about the sleepers, but by the looks of it, we've got a lot of work on our hands. So before we get to work, we thought we'd give Jonny a quick tour of some of the builds here at YCR headquarters, some of which include the Mirage Countach, which is a Lamborghini Countach replica, a Porsche 911 Tigra, a very special red car which you'll see on the channel very soon, Colin Firth's BMW E30, a Mazda Cosmo 110S, which is also on the channel, the Disaster Datsun, which was very rusty, and the Suzuki LJ80. So with that said, now begins our first major challenge, getting the Rancho into the workshop. That brings us to today. Now the footage that you just saw was us trying to get this into here, but now The whole new challenge is trying to get this onto there. Now it doesn't roll, as you can see, because everything's flat, everything's seized, and I'm surprised that it didn't snap in half when we put it on the fork truck. So we need to get a small engine hoist in the form of that massive crane up there, which is actually 10 ton, and try and hoist the back up to pull it onto the ramp. Okay, let's go. Let's just do it. So let's put 50p in the electric meter and wheel our small engine hoist into place over the Rancho to attempt to move it onto the ramp. Now, as there are no specific instructions on how to move such a heap, we had to go for a rather unconventional method. Once it was in place, we found a nice crusty surprise. Now, with the crunch of that rust going through me like last night's overly spiced curry, we somehow found some structural rust to place the ramp arms on. Right, the Rancho is on the ramp, and it took us a while to try and get it centralised because look at it, it's a bit of a mess. But anyway, looking underneath, it's rusty, and yeah, it's totally gone. So it's a good job he's chassis swapping this. But I think we should title this YCR Snapping in Half Jonny from the Late Break Show's Rancho, because that's probably what's going to happen. It is pretty rusty under there. The only reason we're taking it up on the ramp is so we can see from a distance what it looks like. But we're not going to be working under there, so because it's absolutely just gone. So we're going to push the button, take the ramp up, and see exactly how much snappage we can do on the Rancho. Trust me when I say this was more crunchy than the average bowl of freshly poured cornflakes. And how this car did not snap in half while going up on the ramp, I will never know. Now, the underneath comes with more undesirable extras, including huge holes in the floor pan and rust you wouldn't even think was possible. This car was not only home to cobwebs and foliage, but also some animals, which you will see later in the episode. This car is quite literally crumbling at the seams and is definitely shedding its way onto our workshop floor. Right, this is slightly worse than I previously anticipated. I'm surprised it didn't snap while it went up on the ramp, but the structural integrity of this car is slightly compromised by the fact that there's barely any steel left on the chassis and everything. I don't normally do this, but I'm not going to go underneath the car because that's a very big risk for me to do that. And I want to limit the amount of time that it's up on the ramp because it's not really being supported by much at all. We'll first start off by this corner. As you can see, we don't have much left. This is supposed to be metal. If you can see this is meant to be the floor pan. That's just crumbling. Either I'm really strong or that's done for. We've got some optional twigs. This sill has definitely seen better days. Easy access. If you want to repair the inner, you just bend the outer out. We've got an optional extra from factory. That's if you don't want any vibrations from your exhaust. Here we've got a solid sill. we've got a solid-ish sill, which looks like it's been put on by someone else. Let's just hide that over there. We can see here, we can see actually into the car, and this is, we'll just put that back in there for now. This door, as we know, there's a lot of flex in this door, which is kind of scary to do it when it's on the ramp, and I probably shouldn't do it on the ramp. Big holes in the door. There's the wing that's non-existent whatsoever. You've got the inner arch, which is also non-existent, and then the bulkhead section, which is non-existent. You've got a bit of carpet here as well. This is a real nice bit of carpet right there. And the inner sill is also non-existent. There's zero structural integrity left of that. And if you look here, onto the chassis rail, that's one crusty chassis rail right there. Look at that. Oh, wow. It's like having a bowl of cornflakes without the milk. That's exactly what it's like. I'm not going to do it too much there because that's where the actual ramp is holding the car up. But as you can see, the Rancho has seen better days. I've got rust stuck to me. Right, while I've been sat here for about the past half an hour contemplating life, I mean, thinking about what I need to do with this Rancho and staring at this beautiful mess that's on the floor, I think we need to take the car back down and start stripping the parts that we need to keep and start stripping mainly that back section up there, see how it's actually attached onto the car, and start stripping that, because like I say, all the floor pan is going, and we're going to put the Rancho onto the Subaru. So I think taking the parts off this first and then move this out the way, then we can get the Subaru in and start piecing that all together. But yeah, we need to find the mounting points for the back, take the wings off, the cowl off, take the doors off, and well, when I say take, I mean probably they'll just fall off. And if you think I'm joking, I'm actually not. But first, let's take the car back down and have a quick look at the 1.4 litre engine in that crusty old engine bay. I've not yet picked up a tool, and this wing is literally falling off. And going to the rather unconventional route, I decided to bend the inner wheel arch out of the way in order to access the 2 bolts for the wing. The only 2 bolts that are actually intact are the ones that secure it to the A-pillar, and with one swift pull, the wing comes right off. It literally feels like Christmas time, and it's not Christmas time at the moment. What's behind door number 1? Rust. Fantastic. What's behind door number 2? The interior carpet, actually. And door number 3, we've got more rust. This is the pillar that's holding the door on, and as you can see, that's definitely seen better days. And most of the wing actually dismantled itself, which is nice for stripping, but it's not nice for rebuilding, unfortunately. So yeah, you can see here, this is actually the underseal, which is keeping the shape of the arch. So all of this is kind of structural underseal, and then the rest of it is just rust. Yeah. I'm getting stabbed. Yeah, it's not looking fantastic in here, to be honest. The wheel does turn though, which is a bonus. There's always a silver lining with these sorts of things. As you can see here. Right, okay. The doors aren't actually any better than the wings, but before we get to them, let's remove the windscreen wipers and the cowl, which is no longer actually attached to the car. And now, back onto the doors. And with the A-pillars literally not even connected to the car, I had no chance of removing the bolts in one piece, so I opted for the only other non-destructive way that I knew. And with that, we have now given the Rancho some Lamborghini doors. Now the second wing was slightly more difficult to remove than the first, but with a couple of snap bolts and non-destructive methods later, we finally managed to remove it. Now it's onto the driver's side door. And with this, we rinse and repeat the previous method. Non-destructive test, snap bolts, Lamborghini doors, job's a good one. Right, we've successfully managed to extract the doors without causing too much damage. So now that's the doors off and the wings off, I'm going to take this bonnet off without causing any damage. And then I can start looking into all of this section here and see how this actually comes off of the body. I can see there's some rivets that go down there, but yeah, I'm going to take all these plastics off and see exactly how this comes off, because all this is fiberglass that goes all the way down, and that's the main part of it that we need. Obviously, windscreen surround is a bit gone, but we're going to have to see what we can do with that. But yeah, so bonnet first, then we'll look at this. Right, so the front of this is off. I've taken all the rivets out the back. There are some bolts that are in the light apertures as well, which I've taken off. I've taken the bolts off the side, but I think there's still some on the inside behind these plastic panels. So I'm going to remove them, get all the bolts out, and hopefully get this lifted off. I think you guys have just witnessed a world's first on getting this body off of this frame without snapping anything. We had to jam some screwdrivers up there. We spent most of yesterday and an hour this morning trying to rack us brains on how to get this off. Now, this frame here that goes all the way around is locking this fiberglass in. So you've got to kind of tease it round. Now, you can't slide it backwards because you've got this frame here which locks it in place. You can't slide it forwards because this goes around the back. And you can't just tease it up because obviously you've got this here which comes underneath here. So we had to get plenty of screwdrivers, and I mean probably about 10 screwdrivers, and 3 people just to try and tease it round as much as we could to try and release all of this. Now, all of this we've used some lubrication to try and help it. But yeah, we needed to get this body off so we can see exactly what the frame is like. We need to repair the frame, but also we need to graft the frame onto the Subaru body as well. So obviously we're keeping all this, but it needs refurbing and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely did need to come off, and as you can see, it is off. We just need to lift it off properly. But yeah, I can't find, I racked the internet last night to try and see if anyone has actually done this, and I can't see anyone that has. So yeah, world's first, ladies and gentlemen. That has to be worth a like and a subscribe. So that is all we've got time for in this video. Do make sure you visit the Late Break Show on YouTube. He's got loads of classic cars and he does barn finds and stuff like that, and that's who owns his car as well. Do visit our Instagram and Facebook, leave a like and a comment, and yeah, maybe in the next episode we're going to start chopping this up and getting the Subaru in and chopping that up as well, and seeing exactly what we need to transplant onto the Subaru shell to make the Rancho live again. Like I say, like and comment, Instagram and Facebook. We'll catch you guys in the next episode of restoring or transplanting the Rancho onto the Subaru.